We're going to have to do something about this. Oh boy. Oh boy. What have I done? What have I done, kids? I've smoked us out. Ha 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 ha. Oh, I bet y'all never expected that.
Wrapping up 2024, it's Will It Run Fest at Smoke Shop.
And now, back to the show. Starring Smoke. What a ridiculous little name I've made for myself. Believe it or not, that's not my real name. What we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is the amazing Manco RideMaster. Basically, it's an early riding mower. From the research I have done, depends on the year and I guess the exact model. There was definitely a deck. I think some of them had one blade and some of them had two blades. And, you know, it looks like there's just one output shaft down there. I don't know if you can see it. But I don't know if that attached to something on the deck. There's some information out there, but not a lot. And I kind of went down a bit of a rabbit hole while I ate lunch. But I wanted to get back out here and play at least a little bit more before it gets too late. The manufacturer, Manco, was actually in South Florida in the Bradenton area, which is where Cletus McFarlane and the Freedom Factory is. Anywho, I believe the gentleman that I got this from had it running. I say in quotes. When I got it home and I was able to get it running, but it ran like a hit and miss motor, like it was only firing every third revolution or something somehow. Which I thought was kind of interesting. I did not do anything much with it because at that time I was in the process of building this house. So it has been collecting dust in the corner over there for years. So, without doing any further research, let's just see what we can get to happen just as it is. Obviously, it doesn't have a battery. It's an updraft style carburetor. I guess we can get you in here, get a better look at it instead of just sitting around telling you about it. Old style tractor seat. I thought that was pretty cool too, of course. Again, manufacturer is Manco. And, you know, I think it was the same company that made mini bikes and golf carts. I keep saying golf carts. Go-karts. That is the... Oh, I don't remember. It's been so long since I played with this. Yeah, that would engage, if you had the belts on there, that would engage the blade rotation. It's just a neat machine. It's a neat old machine. It's not, like I said, from the research I did, if I remember correctly, I found a serial number, I want to say, on the motor. But I'm not really sure. I don't remember. I played with it one weekend just to kind of decompress. And then I got back into building the house. It is not a recoil start type motor. You gotta wrap your rope around it and pull. I thought I had a serial number somewhere on this motor. If I don't, then I don't know where I got that year from. Because I think it's 1940s or something. But for some reason I got it in my head that it could have been later. I think this motor was made for a while or something. I do have some screenshots or some pictures I found in my research. I'll try and remember to put in here of the brochures and or a restored model. So I did find a number on the shroud here. Huh. So there should be a points cover that's not on there that I don't think I have. Oh, I know I don't. The number, just for saying its sake, is 200-0010-0001-7001211. That's the only number that I'm seeing. There's some ribs there, 5 ribs. Like you said, it's clearly not a recoil and was never a recoil start. It's a rope start. I don't know how, like I said, how long this motor was made. You know, I saw some information out there, but I didn't want to get too deep into it. One thing I know for sure is part of the issue that I was having when the guy showed me that it was running, I saw that it was happening, is that this wire, this spark plug wire, had been rubbed by the shroud. So I put some electrical tape around it to prevent that and left the screw out of there. What do you think, guys? Should we just spray some ether in it and see what happens? Yeah. Sounds like a plan. Here we go. Because that's how we roll at Smoke Shop. This is the bolt that I took out of the shroud. We're just gonna go for it. ¿Dónde está el starting fluid? El starting fluid está aquí. Muy bien. Muy bien. All right. Now, if I remember correctly, it would be like that, right? Right. Because otherwise, you wouldn't have anything to pull on. Now, speaking of not having anything to pull on, I don't really have anything to pull on. But is there a on-off switch or anything? I don't think so. I think it's just on. There's got to be some sort of a kill switch. Maybe not. Maybe it's just that dangerous. I believe it might be just that dangerous, folks. Sounds like it's right up my alley. What's the worst that could happen? As he yanks his hand off, breaking all of his fingers. Man, that smells good. Y'all ready? Let's see what happens. Nothing. Not that really surprised me. I need to do a better start rope. But where's our spark tester? Tester. Yeah, that's rusty. I don't know why it's rusty. Rusty! Come on off of there, Rusty. There you go. Yeah, that's a good portion of our problem is all that rust right there. This is the kind of stuff that you want to see. So all I've done is I took a piece of emery cloth, which is sandpaper basically by the roll. Speaking of rolling, I twisted it up, rolled it as tight as I could to fit inside of the boot that would be fitting over the spark plug, and just spinning it around basically. Try and get the rust off, because there was rust in there. And again, I don't know why that would be. There's nothing in here was wet. While I've got that off, I could pull that spark plug and put some starting fluid right down in the yap. Woo! A little bit rich, perhaps. That's just me wiping it with a paper towel real quick. Trying to get some of that excess carbon out of there. Again, I have not done anything to this thing other than pretty much what you've seen. So I don't have any huge expectations, but we'll see if we can get this hooked in line. And then you should be able to tell if we've got spark, because that should light up. Pow! Well, we have spark. We got a little bit of fire for a second there. By the way, the muffler's blown out on this thing. I noticed that earlier when I was looking at the other side. So it's going to be loud if it runs. But maybe that's why it's not running right. Maybe it's got no back pressure. We are now about to reach level ridiculous. Whoa, absolutely ridiculous. Now we're gonna pull from the front this time. Yeah, I think pulling from the front is probably actually the correct way. Here we go, kids. All right, well, there we go. That's what I was talking about it sort of running, but not really right. That's it. Well, we could say that's Will It Run number 1, or at least Will It Fire. All right, well, that's the start. I think we're gonna do a little bit more research into the teardown of this carburetor. Whew, that'll remind you that you're over 50. Like I said, let me learn a little bit more about this setup, and maybe either get out here this evening or tomorrow and take it from here and see if we can actually get this thing running. We have proof of life, definitely. Just got to dial it in. And the pull rope, like I said, it's starting to come apart and fray. It doesn't have a handle of any type. I mean, that's easy. But that's definitely coming apart. Man, everything's got like grease zerks on it and man, they just don't make things like they used to. This machine could be maintained and outlive that John Deere. Guarantee. I guarantee. I don't know where to get a mower deck for it though. Custom made at Schmoke's Shop and Fabrication. That's, another thing we could do to learn more fabrication skills is make a lawnmower deck. Anyway, time for some research. The Manco RideMaster little riding lawnmower deal. I went on a rabbit hole yesterday and spent hours looking into that thing. And really don't have a lot to show for it. I now know a lot more about Briggs & Stratton motor identification. And I know that it theoretically was the motor anyway, made in 1970. The few things that I did find on that exact motor was basically other people stating that they couldn't find any information on that motor. From the design, I think I've downloaded a manual that may be the same, but I'm trying to get a New Year's Day video out, and so I can't spend another day researching and testing and trying things. So I'm going back to the original plan, which was the motor scooters. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Basically, I have two sets of covers, both of which are pretty much trashed. Let's get some footage of the current dusty conditions. Excuse me. So, help me. Anyway, like I said, it's been sitting for a while. That one's been sitting even longer. Let's help them. Here at
Smoke's Shop!
That's fun. Anyway, okay, let's get
this party started, y'all. We're gonna have a motor scooter party.
motor scooter party. Yeah, motor scooter party. Tracking through the oil. Damn. Tracked right through the oil that I didn't want to track through.
Meep meep.
So there is a common misconception and or confusion and or juxtaposition. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. But what we're going to discuss today, folks, is the difference between a motor scooter and a moped. This, my friends, is a motor scooter. One of the key elements to a motor scooter is the pass-through place for your feet, the rear engine, usually direct drive off of the motor housing, no chain, no nothing like that. That's going to usually be a motor scooter. If you remember the scooters you rode around on when you were a kid, I just happen to have one, my little shop toy. Scoot, scoot. Remember how scooters have a little pad for your foot? Scooter, that's a scooter. For my next trick, we're going to demonstrate something really simple that for some reason people can't grasp. Good job, Mopey. Ready for this? That is a moped. The key element to the difference between a motor scooter and a moped are the pedals. Moped, pedals. That's a moped. Scooters do not have pedals. Mopeds have pedals. The reason this is important is there's two different laws in pretty much anywhere I've ever been that cover mopeds versus motor scooters. The other difference is in e-bikes. So this little pedal thing has transferred into e-bikes versus electric motorcycles. Pedals, again, make all the difference in the world in the rules. So just a little thing that I wanted to get off my chest because I get really tired of people calling motor scooters mopeds. It's just annoying to me. For our next trick, we're going to try and knock some dust off this thing. Knock the dust off it. So, many of you keen-eyed viewers may have noticed the Scotch-Brite air filter. You know, just something to cause a little draw. So there's where our two-stroke oil is leaking out, I would say. Possibly somewhere else underneath. Hopefully I didn't leave too much nasty fuel in there, because at this point it's nasty. Now, I have already turned the air off. I'm just hoping I've got enough in here to air these up. Just to make it a little easier to roll around. I got a feeling it's about to start raining again. That's always fun. So, now, that should be easier to roll around. Oh yeah. We may very possibly get back to this, but for right now, ouch! That for right now is getting pulled out of the way, because instead we're going to focus on this motor scooter. No, folks, as we've already discussed, this is not a moped. This is a motor scooter, because it is a motorized scooter. Alright, well, looks like past Schmoke was looking out for future Schmoke. I do have keys to both motor scooters, so I gotta figure out which one's which. Alright, this is this one. That is that one. Now then, if I remember correctly, these don't need a battery necessarily, or a charged battery. Okay, luckily that fuel tank is empty. All I'm doing here is attempting to put the Kickstarter pedal back on. That's a good way to break something. Thank you. That satisfied me. Well, for starters, guys, I don't even know what you're looking at once again. So we're going to look into that a little bit, and I think we're just going to spray some starting fluid in here again, just to make sure that we can get any signs of life out of this thing. And I have misplaced the keys. No, I found them. Alright, run in the run position. Ridiculous amounts of starting fluid. Correct key in the on position. Oh gosh, I remember starting this thing. Holy cow. Well, how's that for signs of life? I would say there was still some fuel in the carburetor. I would also say that contrary to popular belief, smoke shop is not always full of smoke like that. However, when it is, it's probably a good sign, right? Smells like a two-stroke motor scooter, strangely enough. Let's see if we can get some of that. All right, folks, we're gonna have to do something about this. Oh boy, oh boy, what have I done? What have I done, kids? I've smoked us out. Ha 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 ha. Oh, I bet y'all never expected that. That's actually two now, because I got the other thing to fire off is starting fluid a little bit. But this thing still runs decent, obviously. Should we put some gas in it, kids? Just get crazy with it? Just straight up put gas in it? Because that's what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it. We got some oil? Any of that two-stroke oil?
I don't know. Probably not a lot of it.
So we're going to dump a little bit in there. Just to be sure. Whoop, about that much. And then we're going to get our old gas can. Gassy. Old gassy. Right? Right. We'll get the starter fluid again. Yay! You ever want to put a shit-eating grin on your face? Get one of these bad boys running. Well, that's a start. We have now smoked out the entire end of my street. So, welcome to Smoke Shop. I really didn't think that was going to be that easy. I know for certainty the other one isn't going to be that easy. Is not going to be that easy. Whew. Sorry, I'm out of breath from kicking it over. But it doesn't even have a carburetor on it. So we got a lot more to do to that one. But I'm glad we got this one running again. We may need to make a few adjustments on the old carburetor there. Now I remember why I put that valve in. So yeah, it ain't right, but it runs. So like I said, maybe we'll see if we can get the other one running at all. Oh, don't fall. Then we'll do some research, and I mean, I have a manual for these things somewhere. I know it's out there, so I will try and find a manual and see if we can actually tune these things. I'm not going to be able to get an air filter here by this afternoon, but we could do the Scotch-Brite thing on the other one too, assuming I can even find the original carburetor. Also, you're probably looking directly at the sun. I apologize for that. So, the reason that that one was the one that I got running and not this one is probably kind of obvious. That one's in better condition. This one looks like, I mean, I don't even know. This one looks like somebody went after it and scavenged it for parts to get the other one running, maybe. But when I bought them, if I remember correctly, this has probably been close to 10 years, by the way. This one was taken apart, and in the bucket of parts that you might have seen me carry earlier, I believe there is a carburetor, performance carburetor. Yeah, this one does not have a battery in it. It's got some, I don't even know what's going on here with the wiring. I mean, what do you think, guys? Should we just spray some starter fluid down the intake and see what happens? We probably shouldn't, but that's what I'm about to do. I mean, that's straight into the intake. Obviously, there's no carburetor. I have no idea what this is going to do. I'm twisting the throttle like that's going to accomplish anything. Who knows? Signs of life. That's all I wanted to see. Except now I want to see more. Sweet. Very interesting. Slightly unexpected, actually. Let's see if we can get it carbureted. Bam, bam, wham, bam, wham, you gotta keep it carbureted. All right. Will it run fest? Same thing. Let's try and get her kind of cleaned up a little bit. Put some air in the tires. I'm really surprised that fired. But, you know what they say, follow the leader, he's on a Honda. So that's no battery whatsoever, nothing even connected, and it still fires. So who knows, maybe we'll just start Schmoke's scooter shop and fix Chinese motor scooters all day. Because believe me, they're all broken. Speaking of which, here's a bucket full of parts. Is that the actual air cleaner? I would be willing to bet that it is. Huh. So we might be able to get an original air box on here. Let me see if I can find... Wow, okay. Huh. Excuse me. So yeah, I've got the entire airbox assembly for one of these, looks like. I do have somewhere another carburetor situation. All right, kids, we're gonna have to take a break because I'm gonna have to move some stuff around because I can't get to anything because the welder and the ladder are in the way. Okay, let's see what we've got. Oh, hey, where are you? You're looking way over there. I think I found the original carburetor. That is still there. The slide is still in place. So theoretically, this should go right on. You know, this one's also going to leak at least as much as the other one, I'm sure. Once again, what's the worst that could happen? Man, I really don't want to take these carburetors apart because I do not have a rebuild kit. The main issue that I have right this particular second is I don't have the screws, it looks like, that hold the carburetor on. The basic overview currently is if I'm going to get this thing going with the carburetor on it, I have to go to the hardware store. So I'm kind of running out of time, but you know, what's time anyway? So anyhow, I gotta measure something and then I'll be right back. That's right, folks. We're back from trip to the hardware store. Also unsuccessful. Just kidding. We're gonna try and get this thing going because it would be cool. So we're hoping to be able to use these. I know I can use one of them. actually. It might actually, in all actuality, I think it might be enough. It might be enough, folks. It might be enough. In which case, do we pull that? I don't think so. I think we put this thing on here and go from there, hoping that we at least have the one O-ring, which we do, and then placing that in that position and giving it a screw. Oh yeah, baby. Houston, we have contact. Awesome. All right, that's going to need a lock washer. And I believe I have enough threads to be able to do that. Now, coincidentally, this is actually going to be too long, which is fine. I can cut it down. You've got to cut it. All right. Can always take more off. We can't, well, I mean, we can put more on, but I said more on. We can put more on, we could weld more on, but I don't really think we want to. So, more on. We need washers. Whoa, we got up too fast. Just gonna lean against this table right here and act like nothing's wrong. But I'm pretty confident we could plug that in there and that in there. Not that it would make any difference, but just because that's where it's supposed to be, I think. Just judging from the colors. And then find the slot for this. Should be that way. Yep. And then we'll put that back on, theoretically. Or not. It has to be that way because that's where the throttle stop is. Okay, I think I see what's wrong here. Somebody has... Yeah, it's not... That ain't right. That ain't even close to right. Okay. Yeah, the throttle cable's screwed up somewhere. Awesome. I mean, at least I've got some movement now, but that's still going to stick wide open, which can be entertaining, but it's not particularly desirable. Just trying to get to the throttle cable to try and get some lubrication into it, because our throttle is completely sticking, and that isn't going to work. Unfortunately, the throttle is stuck. Ouch! And that's still sharp. So, yeah. Well, we got the carburetor on there, but we have throttle cable issues. And I don't know if I feel like messing with this anymore tonight. Happy New Year! It's officially 2025. And that's right, folks, I'm still filming. I have edited throughout the night, and our video does not really have a conclusion due to a stuck throttle cable on the motor scooter. I believe my plan right now is to pour a small amount of gasoline into this tractor lawnmower thing and see if we can get it to run on its own carburetor. If it was run out of gas, then the carburetor should be functional. Everything seems to be moving that should move. That doesn't mean that there's not something clogging something. But let's put a little bit of fuel in this thing and see what happens. And if we're relatively successful, especially if it's relatively quickly, maybe we'll mess with the scooter some more. See if I can get that throttle cable to free up. Let's see. Oh yeah, she was closed. Oh yeah, we got fuel flow. We have fuel in the filter, folks. Folks, we have fuel in the filter. Danger, danger. Okay, we're going to put the lid on. This feels so crazy, guys. It's the first Will It Run of the new year. Oops, sorry. Ooh, that looks painful. Hey, now we're talking. Mopey, get out of the way, buddy. Okay. You've seen me pull the rope. I figured you could watch whatever's happening over here as I theoretically drive away. Speaking of which, so something like that maybe. What do you think, guys? First attempted engine start of the new year. Oh, that hurt. The rope got caught in the cover. Take 2. First engine start of the new year, maybe. Take 3. First engine start of the new year, maybe. Oh, I didn't see any spark. Why would we have lost spark? Really, guys? Is this really going to happen to us? I have no spark. Why would I have no spark? Oh, and there is fuel pouring out everywhere, but that's not a big concern. The big concern is the lack of spark. Oh my gosh. Why don't I have spark anymore? So, for some reason, I have no spark anymore. And I don't know where the fire extinguisher is. There's the fire extinguisher. That's good. Just in case. Well, we got spark now. No fire, but we got spark. Oh, gosh. Sure would have been a lot cooler if that had worked. We got fuel everywhere. So we definitely need to close that. We don't need any more fuel. Ah, so much fuel. I don't know, maybe it's supposed to be all the way open. I have no idea. The fact that I can't even get the fire anymore is pretty annoying. Happy New Year! Oh, dang it, it died right as I pulled in. Ah! Happy New Year, that's ridiculous. So, I'm assuming that you heard, if the microphone was working right. That's what I was talking about it running like a hit and miss motor. I would consider that a successful will it run. So that's 2 out of 3. Let's put a little bit of effort into seeing if we can get this throttle cable freed up and wrap up the will it run fest, or whatever we're calling it, with success into 2025. You know, leave a comment down below if you want me to get further into this thing. I will figure out whatever's wrong with it. It's probably as simple as a timing adjustment or a points gap or something simple like that. It may even be dirty points. I'm not going to get into it right now because we're already pushing an hour. So let's see if we can get that cable freed up and maybe put some fuel to that thing and see what happens. So I don't know what you can see here, but basically what I'm trying to do after cutting off the plastic shroud that's over this and everything else, I'm trying to get to the top end of the cable. I don't know what you can see. Wow, really? And I still really can't. To try and get some lubrication, because you got to keep it lubricated. Yeah, there we go. All right. Just gonna go with some good old-fashioned WD-40. I don't know if it's right, but it'll work. Pretty much guarantee it. If I can actually get it into the cable. There is a tool for this, but I'm not buying any more tools right now. Because there's not enough footage of me sitting over here playing on the motor scooter over here. Figured I'd throw in a little bit more for the new year. I think that rhymed. I actually got a little prematurely excited. And have since discovered that that was all an illusion. Because even though I thought it was free, it's not. Yeah, okay, well, tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to go for it. Because it ain't right. But I'm done with the fight. And that's out of sight. So okay, that's a pretty bad sign right off the bat. Basically, I'm pretty confident. I was calling this the fuel pump earlier. I don't know why. It's basically a vacuum petcock is what this is. I'm pretty sure it's bad on both of them, actually. But for the sake of argument, we have the carburetor installed. I'm going to see if I can just fill up the bowl with fuel and see if we can get it running. And that's going to be it, because I'm out of time. If I'm going to get this out as a New Year's Day, Wednesday video, I'm out of time. However, for the sake of argument, I will not feel that I was successful unless I can get all three running off of their carburetors. I've got two. this being number 3. So, I'm going to try and remember that the throttle's going to stick. For one thing. The other thing is that we're only going to have limited fuel here. Now, a bowl full of fuel on a 50cc motor scooter will actually get you quite a ways. But all I want to do is zoom a zoom zoom, preferably without a boom boom. Oh yeah, way too much. Perfect. Magical blue juice. Now we need a fuel line. Impeccable timing. Anyway, basically I've got a piece of fuel line sort of stuffed into a funnel. It's gonna make a mess, but as long as we get some in the carburetor, it'll be alright. It took some fuel now. Here, have some more. Nom nom nom. Pink it up. That should be enough to create plenty of danger. And I don't mean the illusion of danger, I mean danger. So just so everyone knows, I do have a kill switch right here that hopefully works. But I mean, I'd jump off this thing and throw it to the side if things got too carried away. Perfect. Here goes nothing. Don't hit the throttle. Hit the throttle a little bit. Happy New Year, I'm done. Check, please. Sure hope that was recording. If it wasn't, I quit. All right, guys. I got to see if I can wrap up this video editing and get a cohesive New Year's Day video out for you. I would not say that the first annual Will It Run Fest was a total success, but I think it's an interesting concept, and we'll see what happens next year. Or the end of this year. For those of you that have been watching the channel, this is the time when I catch everybody up on our growth as a channel, because we are growing together at this point. I'm still a very small channel. And we are at 238 subscribers as of January 1st, 2025. So let's grow from there. If you enjoyed the video, please like and share. If you want me to get further into that riding mower, again, leave a comment down below. We could probably get it tuned up and actually running correctly. And I have some diamond plate, which it looks like is what the decks were made out of. We could probably put this thing back together and make it a functional mower again, if that's something you guys would be interested in. Once again, I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. These are dirty, but